JohnCast live from Nashville, Tennessee. And now, your hosts, Jim and John.
John, how are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. I'm excited. Today, we've got you here in the studio. I'm here in your studio. We're here to talk about some of the amazing places that we've had a chance to go on vacation, right?
Oh, yeah, we did.
And so when you think about places we've gone on vacation, John, what are some of the places you'd like to talk about today?
San Diego.
We went to San Diego. We've been to, where else have we been?
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe, yeah.
Sedona.
Sedona, absolutely. Yep. And then we've been to Colorado, right?
Oh, we have.
The Tetons, the ocean.
Oh, yeah, we also have.
Lots and lots and lots of places. So I think what I'd like to do is pick one of these and kind of get the show started that way, and we'll get a little deeper into one of them, talk to our guests, talk to our fans a little bit about a place that they've never been before. So you ready to get started today?
Oh, yeah,
all right.
Definitely.
Definitely. Well, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but let's get this show on the road. All right, so John, I think if I remember correctly, one of my most memorable moments with you was when we went out west for the first time. We got in the car, we drove, and we went to our very first trip out west was to see the Tetons, and we went all the way out there with your grandparents, and we met them out there. Talk to me a little bit about. Do you remember that first trip to see the Tetons at all?
Oh, I remember.
I think we did it in 2017. Does that sound right?
I think so.
I think so too. And so in 2017, we drove. What did you think about driving in a car that long?
I liked being in the car with Rihanna.
Yeah, we on that first trip we had Rihanna. We had Michael, didn't we? Or no, it was just Rihanna and Ella, right?
No.
Who was on that trip?
Us and Rihanna.
Oh, and Ella flew out there. That's right, because Ella was she still in college?
She was.
Wow, yeah, that was a while ago. So yeah, you're right. We drove out with just Rihanna and you, correct?
Oh,
Yeah, and it was just an amazing drive. We drove from Nashville, Tennessee, all the way out to the Grand Tetons in Wyoming. Took us a couple days, but we had a great time. And like John said, he doesn't mind the long drive when it's with his sister Rihanna, and when it's with his sister Ella, and when it's with Michael, because John loves being in the car with people. He just chillax. You're a good person to travel with. You're a good person to throw up all over my microphone too. John, you've done a ton of trips in your life where you've been in the car for a long time. Tell me what you think about vacations where you have to drive for a while. What do you think about vacations where you have to drive? Do you like them?
Oh, I like them.
I do too. One of the drives that we used to make was to the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Before we wound up living. Yeah. And now, of course, we live by the ocean, but a different ocean. What's the ocean town that we have taken you to since you were little?
Duck.
Yeah, Duck, North Carolina. And tell us a little bit about, if you've never been to Duck, if someone's listening right now that's never been to Duck, North Carolina, John, can you tell me a little bit about what Duck is like? If I've never been there, what would I see?
The ocean and the sound port.
There's the ocean, and then there's the sound. Absolutely. Which one's usually a little more calm?
Oh, yeah. definitely the sound part.
Yeah, the sound is. What is one of our favorite things to do in the sound part?
Oh yeah, definitely kayak.
Yeah, really, really have fun kayaking. Do you remember when we used to kayak underneath the boardwalk?
Oh, I did.
Yeah. And you and I would kayak sometimes all the way across to like a restaurant on the other side of the water and then turn around and kayak back. Remember that?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. So kayaking on the Sound is a very good memory. Do you remember one of the things Duck has that is pretty cool is it has that boardwalk that goes all the way around the water and it goes around shops and ice cream stores and I love walking on that boardwalk and kayaking, like I said, with John. Duck is just one of my favorite places. Yeah, you agree?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and for years and years, we used to always go with what family member?
Jeff and Jordan and Andy and Ryan.
Yeah, Jeff and his family were always our Outer Banks buddies for sure, for sure. So just one of the biggest trips that I want to kind of move on to another trip. Go ahead.
My favorite Duck trip is 2022.
Oh, the Duck trip in 2022 was so good. It was just Rihanna, Michael, and you, and Mommy and I, right?
Oh yeah, it was.
And it was just chill. There was no sweat, no hassle. It was quiet. We just enjoyed each other's company. That was a great vacation. I agree. That was great. Another great vacation was the year we took everybody to Santa Fe, New Mexico and Sedona, Arizona. Do you remember this vacation?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Was that vacation in 2021 or 2020?
2023.
Was that in 2023?
I think it was.
Well, what a trip that was. For those of you that aren't familiar, I planned a trip for my family, and we drove from Nashville, Tennessee to Denver, Colorado, from Denver, Colorado to Estes Park, Colorado, and then from Estes Park, we made our way over to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and from Santa Fe, New Mexico, we drove out to Sedona, Arizona, and then from Sedona, Arizona, we made our way all the way back to Nashville, Tennessee, which, for those of you that are wondering, was just under 4,000 miles in about 10 days of time. So what a magnificent trip. What a journey we were on. John, what are some of the things you remember most about our trip to Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona?
I remember driving with Michael and Rihanna and Ella in the Toyota.
Yeah. What an outstanding journey that was. John's referencing a drive that we had to take from Estes Park, Colorado to Santa Fe. And John had ridden in a car with his sisters, and they kind of got off the highway, right?
Oh, we did.
And you drove for a long way, just sort of on back roads, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, we definitely did.
So John and his sisters and Michael spent the day on the back roads of New Mexico and Colorado, making their way to Santa Fe, where they would catch up with us. What a day to have in your. I love that these vacations we've taken have given you memories like that. I mean, you have a memory of traveling across the country in the desert with your sister, with Michael, with both your sisters and Michael. What a journey! What a journey! What do you remember most about that?
The Santa Fe hike we did.
Oh, yes. What John's referring to is when we got to Santa Fe, we all of course met back up, and we met at a hotel. Do you remember the name of the hotel we stayed in at Santa Fe?
Oh boy.
That's okay. It was called the La Fonda. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
We stayed at an outstanding hotel called the La Fonda. It's right on the square of the little town with all the little shops and beautiful place to stay. But not too far outside of town was a path, a hiking trail that John is referring to. And one of John's favorite memories of that vacation is when Marika, John, me, his sister, Michael, and Marika's parents, Charmin and Raimo, we all took a hike through an old volcanic cauldron. And it was just, what do you remember about that hike? The hike was so beautiful. I remember water and grass and rocks and stuff like that, right?
Oh, I remember that.
And at the end of the walk, didn't it try to start to rain and thunder a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Rana and Michael didn't like that.
Rand and Michael were not too thrilled about the lightning and the thunder, which, yeah, I can't blame them. But that was a great trip. And then if you remember, after Santa Fe, like I said, we made our way to Sedona. And we had this beautiful house. Remember the house that had like the A-frame roof?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, and it had this patio. And do you remember how what you could see from the patio?
Mountains.
Yeah, right off the patio there were these beautiful mountains, and just in front of the mountains was the town. Remember the town of Sedona? The lights and the cars. I mean, we just had a beautiful piece of property that we could sit on and enjoy that night. Man, I loved that trip. My heart yearns to return. Sedona, Arizona is just one of the prettiest places in the country. If you ever get a chance to visit, it's more than just golf. It's nature. It's gorgeous. It's hikes, and I'm in love with it. And it's shopping and just fun little town as well. Yeah, talk to me.
The bed I slept in was cool.
The bed you slept in Sedona in the A-frame?
It was.
Were you up in like the loft?
I was.
Yeah, I know. Every kid in the world loves a loft. It's a fun to be up there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's fun to be up there.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good memory. And of course, we took a vacation once where we drove to Breckenridge, Colorado. Remember that?
Oh, that was Michael's first trip of us.
Yeah, we took a big horseback ride, right?
Oh, we
It
did.
was an outstanding trip. We hiked, we rode horses, we ate out. And then I also recall, do you remember when we were in Gatlinburg a couple years ago and there was a bear in our yard?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Do you remember who the first person was in our house to see the bear?
Bruce.
I thought you were.
Oh.
I think Bruce and you both kind of saw it, didn't you? Didn't Bruce come in and say, "Hey, there's a bear," and you had said you were already looking at it?
Oh. I was sitting on the lowest deck by myself.
And that's when you saw the bear?
I did.
Well, what did you do when you saw? So you're sitting by yourself on the lower deck of the house, and suddenly you see a bear. What did you do? Did you freak out?
I ran back inside.
You ran back inside. Did you? And is that when you came and found us?
I did.
How close was the bear when you saw him? Was he in the yard, or was he like next door, or how far away was he?
Next door.
Next door. Did he see you?
No.
And so you got up and just ran inside his bed. That was probably pretty smart, right?
It was.
Oh my God. And so tell people what ended up happening after everybody heard there was a bear.
We all went down the lowest deck.
We all went down and out on the lowest deck. And then what happened?
The bear did a fake charge at us.
Yeah, the bear pretended, did a fake charge at us. And what happened? What did we all do?
Bethany spilled wine.
Bethany spilled wine because we all tried to run back in the house, right?
We
Oh
did.
God. So yeah. Anyway, the the bear ended up just walking away. But what a fun memory that was, to see that bear in that house at that time.
Matt was the only one that ran.
Matt, that's right, Matt. Matt was the one that stayed on the deck as the bear pretended to charge. And to this day, I can't figure out if that's because Matt was super brave or because Matt was super, super stupid. One or the other. Anyway, so what wonderful vacations we've had. And we've gone on a lot of other things too. We've done out west. You mentioned San Diego when we started the show. Talk to us. How did you get to San Diego? Did you drive?
My very first time on an airplane.
John rode in an airplane for the very first time when we visited San Diego. And I think that probably was, what do you think, 2019?
I think that was.
And San Diego was phenomenal. I had been to San Diego in the past for work-related reasons. Absolutely love it, and had a chance to go back to San Diego for a conference. And John and Mark came with us, and we stayed right near the beach, and we could see the water, and walking distance to what they called the gas lamp district, and there was restaurants. And boy, what a fun trip! What a beautiful hotel we were in. The swimming pool. Remember swimming in the pool and having people bring us drinks, and we were just in the hot tubs. And remember that?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, that was an outstanding trip. What was some of the things? Do you remember anything about that trip?
I think the pool changed colors.
The pool did. It had different lights underneath it that gave it different colors, didn't it?
Blue and red and orange.
Blue and red and orange. Yeah, it was just a magical place, magical pool, and a really, really good couple of days that we got a chance to spend together. We've also done Yellowstone. You saw Old Faithful, right?
Oh yeah, once.
You saw Old Faithful once, Yellowstone once. You've seen the Tetons a couple times. You got sick last time we went though, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did.
That wasn't one of my favorite vacations. That was a rough one. But we've had a chance to see the West. We've seen the South. We've seen the East Coast. John, I know, what are some places you're hoping to visit sometime in the future?
Definitely San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah. What makes San Francisco something that you're interested
in? I want to see the big trees.
He wants to see the big trees. I love that. We will definitely get a trip to San Francisco, John, without a doubt. And I also know that you really want to probably take road trips again with Michael and Rihanna.
Oh, I definitely do.
Go visit Ella like we've done. And there was one more trip that we haven't taken yet that I want to do with you, and that's a trip out of the country. Someday we have to go either to England, or maybe Poppy will take us to Finland and show us his family and where he grew up. And that would be kind of fun to see where he lived.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So our next, you and I both, John, our journey has to take us out of the country in the near future. Because I've never been out of the country except for Canada, which I guess is out of the country, but it still feels pretty much the same. So looking forward to that experience. John, thank you so much for letting me here at your studio today, and for talking to me a little bit about your favorite vacations. Is there anything else you want to say before we finish this podcast?
My other favorite trip was in 2020 with Rihanna, Naomi, and Poppy at...
Tell me where that was. Remind me. Was that at Red Wolf Gorge or whatever? Red River Gorge?
Oh, yeah.
That's
it was.
right. The COVID vacation. That's what he's referencing. Yeah. So in the middle of the COVID craziness of 2020, in order to see family, we met at like a small little inn in the hills of northern Kentucky at a place called Red River Gorge, and we had a chance to hang out with our your grandparents and have a little fun, right?
Oh yeah, it was.
That was a good trip and a good time because we hadn't been out much. Who went on that trip with us? Did Michael go?
No.
No. Was Rihanna with us?
She was.
Rihanna, and was it just you and Rihanna and then Mommy and I?
It was.
And then Amy and Poppy, of course, we met. So yeah, that was a good trip. Good trip. Lots of trips. We are a traveling family, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we were.
We like to travel. We like to visit places. We like to spend time together. And there's no more together than locking yourself into a vehicle and heading out into the wild, wild west and seeing what experiences you can share together. It's the greatest feeling in the world and something that I look forward to doing again in the not too distant future. But until then, John, anything else you want to say?
This topic was fun.
This topic was a great topic. It makes me excited for vacations. And of course, next week, we're kind of going on a little vacation. Where are we going?
Ohio.
Back to Ohio for what holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving 2024. And then, of course, just a couple weeks after that, we'll be back there again for...
Oh, yeah. Christmas.
For Christmas. With all of our family and all of our sisters and all of our daughters, and everything is going to be perfect. And so we're excited about that. And then whatever new journeys will wait for us in 2025. But until then, this has been the JohnCast. I'm Jim, and this is...
John.
And we will catch you next time, everybody. See ya.
Later.